Okay. And we are live. So I'm going to hand it over to Seb.
Lovely. I'll try and share screen here. Uh, have we got it? Big blue
Yes.
screen.
Yep.
Excellent. Just closing some windows on my end. All right. Hello. I'm Sebastian. I work at Umbraco HQ as a developer advocate and have been doing so for the last, 12 and a half years now. Um, as I noted in the chat earlier, I'm originally from Holland, but live in Denmark now. You know, classic story. Moved for the job, stayed for the girl, all of that, and actually also stayed for the job because I'm still in the same job as well. So all good. Um, Yep, still very much enjoying myself at Umbraco. Have been doing many things over the last 10 years. Starting in a company with 4 people, um, growing to what 140, 145 people now. Once upon a time, all 4 of us used to be responsible for everything, and slowly I've been giving stuff away to other people, which has been really nice. The one thing though that I've never been able to give away was the wonderful task of maintaining our Umbraco, which used to be our community hub. And slowly over time, once Sebastian got busier and busier, fell into a little bit of low maintenance. Let's say that there was not much happening on there. So let's talk about this a little bit. Um, I'm going to start with a bit of a history lesson, and I might need Heather to help me out a little bit because the first slide, I've never been to the Yahoo groups, so I noticed that Heather was actually part of the Yahoo groups. Was this the first ever thing where we talked about Umbraco, Heather? If you can unmute, I don't know if you
Um, I mean, I'm assuming that was the only
are.
option when I started working with it in like
Hmm,
version 3 something. So yeah,
amazing.
I don't know if I was ever on the website, but it was all an email list, sir. So you were
Oh,
just constantly
okay.
being bombarded with emails and replying to them. But it was really great. It was actually the first time I met a lot of people that became like long-term community members.
Hmm.
Like Paul Sterling, who's still a
Yeah.
member of the community, was on that group, and it was the only way I was able to learn XSLT, honestly.
Oh, wow. Those were the days.
That was the biggest
Yeah,
learning curve back in
uh,
version 3 days.
for everyone, I think. Yeah, I scrolled through archive.org the other day when I was building these slides. I'm like, wow, these are some old names who are still around. So I'm very happy that we did some great community building there from the start. Um,
Well, and the fun fact is that that was the group where we organized that first U.S. Umbraco retreat.
oh yeah.
That Doug actually just basically put it out on that group and just said, hey, do you guys want to
Uh,
come to my house for a
when
conference?
I come to my basement. That's amazing. Very cool. I think so. From the stories I've heard, the Yahoo group was pretty good, but um, some of the people working on Umbraco, namely Niels and maybe Per was there. I can't remember. Big fan of .NET software, so he found a forum called Yet Another Forum. Of course, there was clearly there was enough forum software out there already, but he or someone needed to build another one, and that's where in 2006 the Yahoo mailing list slowly moved away to an actual forum, which is great because all of those questions and answers can end up in Google and other search engines. Actually, that's I guess yeah, 2006. Did we have Google at the time? Probably, maybe. Otherwise, it was Alta Vista or something like that. I'm really showing my age now, and I. um, there was a little bonus there. I just discovered today that one of the archive.org pages had a banner ad for something. One of the creators of the first version of Umbraco started commerce software called Chainbox. They're still around, by the way. Chainbox still doing business. Not sure if they're still using Umbraco, but I think so. So yes, still again a few of the names headers on this one as well. A few of the names that we have kept seeing return year over year. But at some point in 2009, we had something to prove. Umbraco 4 was about to be released, and we had to prove that a significant website could run on Umbraco 4, and why not build a forum? How hard can it be, right? It was a bit more than just a forum. So the forum was one of the components there. We also wanted to have a site where we could have the packages gathered. We also realized, and apologies for people who were around that by then, but we realized that we needed some documentation, and that realization kept going for a few more years. There was some documentation. It wasn't great. We're still catching up, by the way. It can always be better. And we realized, or at least Niels and the gang realized, that it could be a hub for anything Umbraco community at that time. So that's what they started building on Umbraco 4 beta. Actually, the first release was on a beta version. We had anticipated that making forum threads as nodes would probably not scale very well in Umbraco. So those were actually virtual nodes, so an extra table in the database with topics and comments. And that actually worked pretty well. We did make use of the members section of Umbraco. So to log in and post on the website, you needed to actually be a member in Umbraco itself. And that member database kept growing quite quickly. And surprisingly, or unsurprisingly maybe, kept scaling quite well as well. So I think at this point, just before we shut the old forum down, we had about 400,000 members in there. I will admit that about, let's say 60% of them were probably spam accounts who were trying to to post some stuff. But I'll get to spam in a minute. But everything else that was on here was actual nodes in Umbraco. So the wiki, which was the predecessor to the documentation, was nodes in Umbraco that people who were logged in could edit as well. And then packages could be uploaded. They're called projects here. Could be uploaded as well, and they were nodes in Umbraco, and still are nodes in Umbraco. The wiki still exists, but it's unpublished right now. At this time, I was starting to use Umbraco. I actually posted on the forum a lot, helped people out once I learned things about Umbraco, because I was very, very new. So the first few months were mostly questions, and then sometimes I had an answer. I'm like, oh, I can help somebody else out. This is really great. And after a few years of doing that, I became very involved with Umbraco. Actually, I was hired in 2012 to come work with Umbraco, and my first commit was basically, no, I guess that wasn't my first day at Umbraco. My first commit to the hour Umbraco code base was in September 2012. This was also the time where we moved from Codeplex code hosting, Microsoft code hosting, to GitHub, which is something that I worked on to move our code bases over, which used to be in some kind of proprietary Microsoft version control format, and then that quickly went to, for a few years they went to, oh, what's the one that's not Git, but it's some kind of metal?
Mercurial?
Mercurial, yes, exactly. And then we had to convert that into a Git repository. And I looked today, and I can see that all of the history is actually still there. So somehow we succeeded in doing that. And you can see all the first commits from the first days as well. At the same time, I was getting our Umbraco ready to accept contributions. If you have seen or heard me talk about Umbraco at all in the past few years, you know that I'm big on pull requests, and this was one of the areas where I'm like, hey, we could totally get this site to be better if we would just accept some pull requests. So that was one of my missions in the early days as well. And we were on our way to get it upgraded to Umbraco 7, which was, I believe, released in 2013. And we were, of course, Umbraco 7 from day one, which was always our proud banner at the bottom, which showed that we were always on the latest version of Umbraco until we got to the very latest version of 7, and we were like, oh yeah, I'm not sure we can upgrade this to 8 now with all of the really custom things that we built in there. So it kind of got stuck into being Umbraco 7 for the longest time. It's still on Umbraco 7, by the way. On the right here, you can see the design of our Umbraco in 2015. We got like a new design update, and actually 10 years later, right now, it looks quite the same. Different colors, same style. And just to give you an idea, behind the scenes, whenever someone signs up for our Umbraco and starts to post on the forum or creates a new package on the forum or on the website, someone at HQ has to manually approve their first post and or first package created because we had a bit of a spam problem, and it was getting harder and harder to combat that. It used to be, once a month, twice a month maybe, but in the last few months or last few years even, it was daily work. Like, okay, there's a new one. Oh no, this is a spammer. This is not a spammer. And worst of all, since last year. People started using AI to send us spam. So it looked like a totally legit comment on an existing post. And we had to magically figure out, this actually wasn't actually someone who was trying to do to help out. They later edited their posts to add links in, and it's like, oh, damn it was spam. So that was getting harder and harder for us to keep up with. And obviously, we didn't really have any new features introduced in the last 10 years either. So everything was getting a little bit stale. I think in the same time that we created a new skin for our Umbraco, we also saw the emergence of a few people from the community who decided to create their own Slack channel. So that's one thing we didn't anticipate and never catered for, was the emergence of real-time conversations between each other, and the community Slack channel actually became quite popular for a long few years actually. But there were a few problems with it, and one of them unfortunately came out when we had a few enormous code of conduct breaches, which unfortunately nobody could do anything about, because the admin of the of the Slack channel was not being responsive at the time. So when we finally tracked him down, we added some moderators to the channel, but it was never there was never any involvement from Umbraco HQ. It was a community channel, and we didn't want to impose ourselves into that space. Of course, Umbraco HQ kept an eye on what was happening there, and seeing if we could use some of the feedback to make Umbraco better or anything else better as well. But we also realized for the longest time that all of this information was being held. I kind of want to say secret behind closed doors there. The Slack channel was not being indexed by any search engines either. So it was great for the people who were in there and who managed to actually find the Slack channel, but it wasn't so great for helping everybody else out. That combined with maybe some moderation problems led us to think about something new. And that launched in 2021. We launched our community Discord, which Still had some problems, but it was at least more open. It was easy to get people to join. We could build a moderation team. Janae is on there still. Thank you, Janae. Good job. And it was ran by Umbraco HQ as well, so we could kind of facilitate what people talked about more easily. On the reason that we could introduce this one was that at some point I found a tool called Linen, and Linen is using the Discord API to extract all the chats from Discord into a public web page that could then be indexed by Google and other search engines. And this worked okay. This was fine for a while, but it was still hard to discover how to get there. And it was still it's especially when you found some of these results in search engines, clicking through to them, it was completely unclear how to actually join the conversation from there. While we were very busy at HQ, this was a good bridge between being a closed Slack environment to a more open area, which we now call the new forum. Yeah, enter Discourse. Discourse is the forum software behind the new forum, not based on .NET. With pain in our hearts, we had to. No, it's fine. We don't need to know much about how the software works, but we have found quite a few really good advantages of using Discourse, and it got recommended to us over the years quite a few times. Discourse, just like us, open source, has many great built-in features and is fully maintained. Those features are fully maintained. Really great plugin ecosystem. It's best of breed for what we needed, a good solid forum with many features. The open source side of it has a great community as well, where people love helping each other and pointing each other to the best ways. So doing things. I've been very active in that community for the last few months to try and figure out if I'm doing it right, and if not, how to do it better, and all those kinds of things. I even sent them a bug report, and I managed, with my non-existent Ruby knowledge, I managed to fix the bug that I found and send them a pull request. Unfortunately, they couldn't merge it quite as I sent it to them. But when I saw the later pull request that one of the core team members made, I was like, oh yeah, I could not have done that myself at all. They added unit tests and everything, and it was like, yeah, okay, good. Someone else is doing this, but at least they got some inspiration from me. Yeah, it's either software as a service or you can self-host this. And if that sounds familiar, I should have stuck an Umbraco logo under this. That's exactly what we do at Umbraco, and that's how we love to work. So it felt very close to our hearts, and not only that, the software worked great. We are self-hosting it for now to see how it goes, but we have all the intentions of starting to pay them next year to do all of the things for us, so we don't have to do our automatic upgrades. Sounds familiar? Yes, they do automatic upgrades for you as well. But for now, we're self-hosting it, and it's been a joy. And I've done many upgrades already. Where there's every day there's upgrades available if I wanted to, and all of that seemed very solid as well. Plus, I've done the most important thing is I've made a backup and I've restored the backup, and it worked, and everything was fine. So I'm very happy that we can trust that if anything goes wrong with our server, that we can at least take a backup and restore it somewhere else and get up and running again within quite a short time. It took me maybe half an hour to get that up and running again. So all good. Yeah. So I learned about Discourse about 2 years ago, and we had looked at Discourse about 2 years ago. We just couldn't see a way to move away from the old forum, import all of the old posts into the new forum, and then get up and running. I had a little epiphany last year when I realized that just wanted to say, by the way, that Discourse is founded and mainly or started to build by one of the co-creators of Stack Overflow. So he knows his shit with regards to questions and answers. And Sam Saffron here is also one of the core developers on Discourse. And what I realized when I looked at their blogs is that they are using Discourse as their commenting system for their blogs. And not only that, I was a bit scared of that. I'm like, okay, well, it's Ruby, and I don't know how to integrate that and all that. Not only that, it was just a little snippet of JavaScript you could just put under something, any text, any site, any page with a unique URL. And that got me thinking. So when you leave a comment on this on Sam's blog here, you go to a Discourse instance where you actually leave the comment. And that got me thinking, that's really interesting. What if we could just put this little box under a thread on our Umbraco? Which is exactly what we're doing right now. So we find a thread here with, this one has no replies, but if you want to continue this discussion, we click a button, we get to our new forum, we actually can leave a reply here. The original post here is linked to the original post in our Umbraco. And as soon as we go back to our Umbraco, you can see the reply that I've just left on the Discourse, the new Discourse forum. So that solved the whole problem of, okay, how are we going to import 12 years, 15 years maybe of HTML and Markdown and a mix of those things, and will it ever work, and can we verify that it actually looks nice? We realized we don't have to. We can just continue with our Umbraco being in read-only mode, and this will at some point, right now it's still dynamic, but at some point it will be just a static website with still this option to continue the discussion somewhere else. I must say, I was having high hopes for this feature. Not many people actually use this. They just start a new thread on the new forum, but it's nice that it's there, just in case. So with that, I had found a way to set it up. It worked quite well in the way I wanted it to. I had a proof of concept ready. Then at least my team was like, yeah, this sounds like a good idea. Then we were like, okay, we really need to talk to some people in the community to see if they also think that's a good idea. And that's where Janae's getting lots of shout outs, and Heather, the community advisory board, stepped in here. We showed them the proof of concept, and asked them to start scrolling, start typing, start trying to mess it up, start giving us constructive feedback. And I think we did that for about 2 weeks. And to my great relief and great surprise, everything that they came back with was very doable. So all of the things, I was like, oh, how does this work? Why does this not work the way it should work? I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I guess there's a configuration setting for this, or I guess there's a plugin for this. So it was surprisingly easy to get it tweaked and feel like the forum that we would want to use. So that was a huge help, and thank you to Janae and Heather and everybody else on the community advisory board who is maybe watching this later on. Super, super helpful. Then we had a dream, and we're still working on that dream. Is to consolidate a lot of things where we talk to people in our community. So obviously we had a question and answer channel on the Discord, and maybe some other questions as well. We moved those over to the forum. We closed the existing channel, but there's still a channel where it shows new threads being created on a new forum, so people can still go from Discord to the forum very easily to continue there. And that means that we're Discord is still in use, but we're going to be using this more for social events, and of course to post our daily Wordle score, because that's very important to share. The other dream we had was all of our community teams and advisory boards had a little home in the Umbraco HQ Slack. So each of them had a channel, but it was hard for people from outside to talk to the members of those boards and those teams. So the other dream is moving them over, and that's mostly done right now. But we did realize that topics and threads are not the most the best way to communicate with each other. In that regard, so I've started to create some chat channels. This Discourse software has a chat option. It is a little bit bare bones, and that's why I'm saying we're still working on the dream. It works, but it might not be great. But at least from now on, you can if you have specific questions, or if I feel like, or we feel like, oh, this is a great question for the accessibility team, for example, we can just add the accessibility team. We can give them a ping and see if we can involve them in any of the topics that people create on the forum. So far, the reception has been great. Search engines love the new forum. So this post here was created when I took the screenshot, was created 16 hours beforehand, and already available in all of the major search engines, and that's really nice. But you know what's extra nice? What we really wanted is for our community to love the new forum as well. And I am happy to say that everybody seems to be very happy. Not only that, not only online, I've spoken to a lot of people at Umbraco Spark in Bristol as well, and I'm like, anything you wishing for, anything you're missing, and everybody's like, no, it's great. And I just don't believe them anymore. There's too many people who say it's great. It must be a lie. Someone must tell me something bad about the forum. So please, afterwards, not right now, but afterwards, please tell me something bad. Yeah, adoption rate's been great. Since today we have over 400 members on the forum. Lots and lots of activity happening at the moment, and that's after launching on February 27th. So it's not even been a month. I will admit I forced a few people to get on there, so the community teams and the advisory boards. But other than that, lots of organic growth as well, which has been awesome to see. And then we have one little sad moment. If you've been around for a while on the our Umbraco forum, you know about karma. That this was a way to earn. I guess you could call it NFTs or microtransactions now. It was a gamification thing. So each post you made gave you some karma. Each high five you got on the forum gave you some karma. Each solved answer gave you some karma. And yeah, we can see that this week no karma earners because the old forum is not accepting any more new things. But we have a new leaderboard, and I'll show you that in a minute. Maybe I'll show you that now. Let's see. Am I sharing my whole screen so you can see the forum here? Or are you still seeing the presentation? Okay, good. Seeing the forum. Awesome. So, forum. It's a forum. It's very boring. It's got questions and answers and stuff like that. But there's quite a few smart things built in here. So I'm logged in with my test account here. While we were talking, apparently a lot of new posts were made. One of the main things that we would encourage people to use when posting new questions is to use our tags here to either give the version number that you're working on, or maybe you're working with usync, and you want to make sure that we understand what your post is about. Which is a good segue to the package tags here. So if we go to /tags, there's only a few right now, but we're working on maybe making this automated. Usync has a few posts tagged, and Kevin, the maker of Usync, has tapped this button here and said, watching. I always want to get notifications about all the posts that are about Usync. So whenever he gets a new notification, it's got to be about Usync, right? And you can anyone can subscribe to any of these tags. So if you're specifically curious about packages, or specifically curious about V8 or V7, why not? Then you can follow each post that comes with that tagged with V8, V7. There is only one category, basically, and that's questions. We, from a lot of experience on the Discord, now we're getting confused, Discord versus Discourse. So the previous one, Discord, we learned that having many channels is a really great idea if you want to confuse people a lot. There is plenty of posts that were basically starting with, I'm not sure entirely where to post this, but I thought the gaming channel would be really great for my C# question. Okay, it's not quite the best channel for that. So for now, we have one channel basically, and that's questions, where you can ask all your questions, and then tags will differentiate the questions from each other. We have another category here that's meta. That's stuff about the forum. This is where you leave your bad reviews about the forum. But do it in a nice way, of course, always friendly. But this is about the forum. Something is not working, some feature is missing. I want to do all the features that you request, but for now, keep them small, please, because we don't have that much time. And then, very standard things like a code of conduct that's easy to find, an about page where we show who the admins are and who the moderators are. We have some external links to documentation and GitHub and all of our socials and the Discord as well. And then I talked about the leaderboard. So there's a new leaderboard that's a bit more well thought out. So the old karma points would just accumulate and accumulate and accumulate, and this one is actually, basically you start over every week or every year. Basically, they only have a year score, so you can only be the king for 1 year apparently. So this you get, again, this is quite similar to what we had before. You get points based on if you make a post, if you get the post marked as the solution of the person who started the post, if someone gives you likes, all that kind of things. Then what does a thread look like? A thread looks like a thread on the forum, basically. But we have some extra things here. So you can do Slack-like likes, high fives, thumbs ups, and so on and so on. There's a way to copy a link to the post so you can share it easily. There is a way to flag posts in case you think they're spam or not in line with our code of conduct, or if there's any other problem. And this one I find very cool, and I'm using this quite a lot, is not only can you bookmark a post, but once you bookmark it, you can set a reminder to get a notification in a few hours or tomorrow, which is basically like Slack, actually. I can get back to this. I don't have the answer right now, but I'll get back to this, so I'll get a notification about that. Don't want a reminder right now. Yes, other things here is if you select text, you get to quote it, and that will end up here in this the box where you can type, the composer it's called. So it will be automatically quoted here, and then you can start typing. One pro tip I have here: if you have a link, let's put a link in. People often do this. Here you go, and then put a link here. That's fine, and it replaces the link with the title of the page. But if you put an intro before it, it will make you a nice card, and that will work for basically any link. One other really cool thing is if you put a GitHub link here, so a link to an issue, for example, on GitHub, then on GitHub, it will get a notification, hey, someone is talking about this issue on the forum. Maybe you should have a look and see if you have something else to put in. Oh, it's probably happening right here. So Luke here made a link to this. Oh, this is a discussion, not an issue or a pull request. Too bad. Anyway, they link to each other, which is very nice. So we can have some more interaction between GitHub and the forum. Yes. For each post, you can watch the post as well to get more notifications about the post if you're interested, but don't want to comment. There's all kinds of like little tools and bells and whistles here. One of the things I mentioned is the advisory boards and the community teams. They are on here. And you can see who's on them, and you can also give them an ad mention saying I want the community, the core collaborators to have a look at this pull request that's not been solved. It will nudge you saying, "Are you sure you want to notify 8 people?" But yeah, that's cool. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. Let's see, groups, users, badges. Oh, and then yeah, gamification. It's a thing. People love it, or they don't care. That's I think that's a spectrum. I don't care, or I love it. Some people are really motivated by getting different kinds of badges. So I've already in this test account, I've already earned new user of the month. Apparently, I'm not sure what that means. Outstanding contributions in my first month. Great. Enthusiast, promoter, and so on. Other people, can I see? Oh, let me just pick a topic here. It's got me in it here. So for me, I just saw it. I have an Umbraco HQ badge. And then for some other people, let's find another one. Here we'll also see, and if I haven't gotten to you yet, please let me know. But if you're an Umbraco MVP, of course you get a nice Umbraco MVP badge. And speaking of badges and GitHub, there is a cool one where if you make your first contribution or your 10th contribution or your, I think, 100th contribution on one of our repositories, you get a special badge for that as well. I think I can see them here. So GitHub committer, contributor, frequent, amazing contributor. And this is all automated, and this makes me very happy because I've been wanting to automate this for 100 years already. And it's now finally just there, and I don't have to worry about it. Amazing. The reason we can do this, by the way, is because you must log in with your GitHub account. I looked at linking other accounts as well, but those are harder to set up and required a bit of maintenance every now and then, rolling keys and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, let's see if we can just make it work with GitHub logins for now, even though some people are not super on GitHub yet. It is quite easy to make a GitHub account and get going. That also means, evil plan, that GitHub is our first line of defense against the spammers. Hopefully they'll get to the spammers before they get to the forum. So that helps us a little bit. One last thing I want to show you as a pro tip. If you're going to be posting images, for example, this one, there is an option. Oh, not on this account. Oh, that's a shame. Apparently, I need to be logged in as a higher level. There is an option, I was going to say, to caption these images automatically by, oh, that's why it's not working. Something's not working. Oh, it was such a nice idea. Well, anyway, by AI. And, the thing is, I am not quite on board with the AI yet, but this actually, we are developers. We post screenshots with text in them, and it works really great for screenshots with text and code in them. So I am actually on board with the AI in this one. This is the only area we use AI at the moment, apart from doing spam detection. So that's the two things that we use AI for. The rest, I've turned everything off. I'm like, let's just see how this goes first, and let's just see what our bill is for using those AI features as well. I think that covers a lot, and I hope you're not exhausted yet. I can go on for another hour, but for now, I'm just going to say thank you, and I don't know if there's time for questions, but I'm happy to answer questions as well. There we are.
That was great, Seb. Thank you for walking through all that. The history was especially interesting to me, just kind of different iterations of options that the communities had. Oh, it looks like Kevin is posting our final four for our March Madness bracket.
Yeah, I took everyone's votes from last round while we had that great talk about forum, and yeah, let's close this out. So if you want to vote for the final four here, then we can lock down a champion.
Ooh, exciting.
And yeah, last round we did have a tie in the ecstatic for SEO toolkit round, but I did a random number to pick a winner. All right, everyone got their vote in. Last call. 3, 2, 1. All right, looks like document type compositions won a narrow victory. And blocklist editor really really won out down there. So sorry, SEO toolkit. So yeah, let's get down to the finals. We have doc type compositions versus the blocklist editor. So let's see who's gonna take the crown.
It's gonna be a tie. No.
Oh, it's a tie. Oh, this is this is great.
So close.
Oh,
I think that might be it.
I think that might be everyone. All right, 3, 2, 1. All right.
Wow. I feel like
Doc
that's
type
an upset victory right there.
compositions right there. Yeah.
It would have been like a 10th seed or something. If that means anything to anybody.
Oh, wait, we got another vote? Who? Someone
Oh,
vote late?
oh, it's a tie. Oh,
Are we a tie?
time.
All right, does anyone have a coin to flip?
Man, all my coins are downstairs.
Who uses coins anymore?
Right.
All right, we'll use the random number generator in the Google sheet here then. So
I actually have a Warpix coin. I don't know if you can see that one. It's quite heavy. I can try and flip it. So the question is it the logo or the hog? That's Tails. Let's say Tails is hog.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna try and flip it.
right.
Which is which?
Yeah.
Come on. Okay.
That is
It fell on heads. Does that count? Oh yeah, we don't know which one is which. Damn it.
I was just figuring in order. Heads, doc type.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, I think that
Blacklist in order.
the doc type composition keeps finding ways to win. So I feel like we
It
gotta
does.
give it to her. I think the blacklist will make a good run next year. I'm
Well
sure.
thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for putting that together, Kevin. That was fun.
Yeah, thanks,
It is
Kevin. That's
fun.
what-
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, Sebastian, for walking us through the forum. That was really cool. It's had some
Welcome.
features I didn't realize about it.
Yeah.
That's really awesome. Y'all did a good job.
Hey, y'all, I'm gonna stop our recording here. So farewell to our YouTube viewers here. We'll see y'all next time. Come to these meetups.